fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene,
Mangia
mangia
italiano.
italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss. Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
The program presented are submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNLY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
It is Friday. It is Today with Cache. We're here in the Woodlands, Texas. And for the month of, actually November, gosh, we moved to November, our hot topic is focused on suicide awareness and prevention. And so each Friday we'll have a guest on who will be focused on talking about that. And this morning I have in the studio Tessa Stuckey, welcome.
Hello.
Who is a licensed professional
Counselor, yes.
Yay! I want to make sure I got your title right.
Yeah.
So who's going to kind of help us dig deeper? Last week we had the wonderful Kim Hess
Yes.
on talking all about, Cassidy
Her
for Hope,
story, yeah.
which was really amazing. And that kind of gave us that personal side of it.
Yeah.
Today I want to kind of dig deeper from a broader perspective.
Okay.
Can you tell everyone a little bit about who you are and your background?
Yeah, okay, so I'm a licensed professional counselor. I work here in the Woodlands, and I somehow stumbled into working with teenagers. I thought that I was young and cool.
You sure you're not a teenager?
I'm positive.
I didn't get her. I'll tell you all out there. I thought she could have been a high school student
You're
herself.
sweet. You're
but,
sweet.
But no.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm well into my 30s with kids.
She's
so.
got 4 kids.
Yeah.
She's married. Just so y'all are aware.
But I did grow up in the Woodlands.
Okay.
And so I thought I was going to connect with all these high schoolers and help them through, being annoyed with their parents and struggling through school stressors and, boyfriend and girlfriend drama. And they all came and sat, and they would tell me about their problems, and they all sat with those struggles, and then they would tell me that they were thinking about suicide.
Wow.
And it really
So
just
they were very
took me
open.
off guard. Yes, I will say my teenage clients have always come in and just been very, for the most part, I've had a
Okay.
couple that don't want to talk to me,
Sure.
but for the most part they're very comfortable, and they would just say, things like, my mom asked me to empty the dishwasher, and so I went upstairs and thought about hanging myself or something, and
Okay,
it was like,
and I'm
what?
going to stop for a minute with
Yeah.
that type of thing. Okay.
It's confusing
because
and upsetting.
Now I was driving here this morning.
Okay.
And I was thinking in my mind, obviously I was a teenager. Yay, I made it
Yes.
through that.
Yes.
We go back. I'm going to go back about 25 years, and I'm going to say, yes, we went through high school. Yes, I had the parent drama, the high school drama.
Right.
Had it all. I had friends who had different issues going on. But to hear the words "I want to kill myself," it didn't come out like that.
No.
It didn't come out. It was more of, "Oh my God, I'm upset with my parents. I
Right.
may want to run away." Used to hear things like that.
Or
from
like,
kids.
I wish I could just, I wish I could
Okay.
run away.
But explain to me, 25 years ago
Uh-huh.
to today, why do you think that is a statement from "Go do the dishes"?
Right.
I need help
it's
with that.
become
Yeah.
so common and casual and easy for them to go to that point. And so I was so bothered by it. And I have 4 little kids of my own. And I thought, I can't have this,
Yeah, it
in
doesn't
our
make
future.
sense.
I
Right.
can't have my kids just jumping to that thought either. And so traditionally with suicide, you want to look to see if someone has trauma or abuse in their life or a real serious mental illness, and I wasn't finding that in any of the clients.
Interesting.
So I decided to figure it out. I wanted to understand what was going on in our culture or in our world, because I'm going to go back. I graduated high school 15-something years ago,
Okay.
and that wasn't the case then either, and
Right.
from the same town.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
so
Interesting.
I really kind of set out on this journey, and I found quite a few cultural influences that have contributed to the
Such as?
rise in suicidal ideation. So the first one I would say is the fact that it's being talked about now more than ever.
Okay.
It's happening more than ever, so it's being talked about more than ever, so it's on the forefront of their minds.
Okay, so it's become more of, I would hate to say this if I'm not saying it correctly,
Okay.
but it's become more of a flippant statement, a flippant thing to do. It's like,
Almost
hey,
like a trend,
okay.
word of mouth, whatever you want to call it. It's on the table for way too many because it's being talked about a lot. There's more shows and movies about it, and that's just putting it in their minds a little bit quicker.
And so, now I'm going to ask the question, is it something we should not be talking about as much to them? Because it's like, I always used to say, I'm an advocate for, in society, a lot of times when we give attention to something or we give it light or we give it, so to speak, life,
Right.
We make it live. And if we don't, sometimes we can not make it live.
So
But the question is,
it
how
is
do you...
hard. It is
Yeah.
hard, but I think that there needs to be more of a balance. I think that we're spending a lot of energy spreading awareness
Yeah.
and filled with fear, and we need to balance it with the preventative care, which
Okay.
is why I wrote my book. And so I wrote a book all about the cultural influences and then what exactly parents need to do from when they're babies to teenagers and young adults.
Awesome. And we'll take a quick commercial on that note,
Yeah.
and we'll be right back.
Okay.
For fresh flowers fast, call Barb's Iris Floral at 281-820-2294 with excellent customer service since 1983 for weddings, funeral services, sweet 15s, corporate events, and all occasions. For that special someone you love, barbsirisfloral.com and barbsirisfloralboutique.com. Come on in and pick out of our prestigious gallery at 727 Westmont Houston Road, Houston, Texas 77038. Text 832-466-8414. Barb's Iris Floral delivers fresh flowers fast.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
Do you feel that your energy costs are unnaturally high? Do you want to fortify your building and keep it strong and secure for years to come? Then NRG Spray Foam Installation is the answer you're looking for. Our unique foam installation is made to help our customers save in energy, prevent gas, air, and moisture infiltration, as well as helping with general stability in your building structure. Call us at 713-936-3021 or visit us online at nrgfoam.com for more information. NRG Spray Foam. Building green, living green.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
This is E.L. Crane of Real Estate U here each and every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on 91.1 FM The Boss. Remember, that's Real Estate U. Insightful, informative, and a little humor tossed in. Real Estate U, listening live, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. each and every Saturday at 91.1 The Boss.
Veda's Medical Spa and Wellness Center is a premier wellness center specializing in effective medical interventions to help you look and feel younger. Dr. Nangrani is dedicated to providing unmatched personalized care using a holistic approach that includes sophisticated cosmetic, aesthetic, and anti-aging treatments in a warm and relaxing atmosphere. Combining a medical spa with a wellness center, we ensure the best medical treatments are complemented by specialized holistic healing techniques. Veda's treatments will enhance your natural beauty and never leave you with that done look. Visit us at vedasmedspa.com or call us at 281-298-5476.
Hey Hey guys, this is Summer with KNLY 91.1 The Boss on the Daily Buzz Radio Show. Be sure to tune in every day, Monday through Friday, from 12 to 1 p.m. If you want to call and request some of your favorite music, just give us a call.
Today with Cachet, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 10 to 10:30. 91.1 The Boss. Watch me live, Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget, 91.1 The Boss. Today with Cachet.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Welcome back to Today with Cachet. It is Friday. We are all focused on Hot Topic, suicide awareness and prevention this month. And I have the lovely Tessa Stuckey in the studio, who is a licensed professional, clinical professional actually here in the studio, to kind of help us dig deeper into the mindset of a teenager. And thank you for coming in.
So much.
So during commercial, because I took it a little deeper in my own experience as a teenager in trying to get an understanding of why is it so severe today versus when it was 25 years ago. And one of the things we were talking about during commercial break was, it sounds like what you were saying is that teenagers today are treating it equivalent to what we did when we said, oh, I'm going to go get in the car with my friends when my mother told me not to, and go to the restaurant when I was, I'm going to go a little later on my curfew.
Right.
Because they're not looking at this as so finite.
Yeah, the finality of suicide.
It's impulsive. It's just
it's
whatever.
Impulsive, and so that's due to the prefrontal cortex is not fully developed in their brain, which is all the judgment calls, the cognitive thinking, the ability.
But was it when we were growing up?
Right. No, ours wasn't developed. That's why I always joke. It makes a lot of sense why I got in trouble in high school. And then to go even further, it's not fully developed until the ages 25 to 28.
Okay.
And so I always joke it makes sense why I made the choices I did in college.
Well, yeah, exactly. Or men. What's wrong with their brain?
If it's on the table as an option, and they're already impulsive, it's going to come to their mind a little bit more.
So that was one. You said there were some others.
Yeah,
let's go a little bit.
There's 6 total.
Okay.
So the next one I found that's probably the number one is the need for immediate gratification. So we live in a world where everything is instant, and our kids have grown up with only that. We grew up where, if we wanted to rent a movie, we had to wait till mom drove us to Take One Video or Blockbuster, and we'd have to scroll the aisles, right? And that whole process took a while, and now that whole process takes a couple seconds, depending on how quick you can click a button.
Interesting.
Seeing a picture. How long did that take, right, to get a picture developed, right?
Interesting.
Or
so
getting
everything
a phone
is
call.
so quick now that there's no patience anymore.
There's no ability to wait, right? And so when things get really hard, when the hormonal years kick in and things get really, really stressful and emotional, they have a hard time struggling through that. The lack of coping skills because they've had everything so instant in their life. And then, so that's a big one. The next one would be lack of personal connections, which is huge, and that would be due to technology. People aren't meeting as much face to face. They might be connecting online through social media, and they're getting, addicted to their phones because that has a dopamine fix. But you're not getting the oxytocin. So the oxytocin is that love hormone, the cuddle hormone that you feel when you make eye contact with someone or when you're physically in the same room as someone. And that makes us feel safe and secure and accepted. But if we only connect online, we're not getting that feeling at all, and we feel more lonely and isolated. And loneliness is such a powerful emotion.
Oh, sure.
And it can really get you spiraling, right? And then the next one is the longing for attention. And this one is not new. There's been a lot of cases where people just want to be heard or taken seriously, and so they make threats or they do something really big like that. But we're seeing more and more because really attention is wanting to feel important and wanting to feel valued. And if they're not connecting with anyone, they're not going to feel important in this world.
Wow.
And so That's a really big one, a huge one.
Well, they're all, as you start to walk through those, I started to see the window of how, so it sounds like, the first one I would say, okay, we did back 25 years ago. But as you dug deeper into second, number 2 and number 3, okay, I hear that. It almost sounds like, okay, then if we know those are the issues, we need to, and this is now me theorizing. I'm not saying this is what the society should do, but this is me theorizing, is we need to look at measures to say, okay, if we know that these are true and these points have been tied back to numbers, right? Then we need to look at what happened to a phone just being a phone? What happened to saying if you're at an age of, I'm just going to throw a number out, you're at an age from, I don't know, 10 to 18. You're only allowed to have phone privileges, and that's a mandatory law, legislated law, and all it has is a phone on it and a calendar and whatever, and it seems like all of this access to
no
apps,
social media, no games.
Why can't a law potentially be put in place now that there's a entity that says we've done some studies, we've now seen this, until you're during this age to this age, you get it this way, and then at the age of 18, then we can turn you over. You're now considered an adult or whatever, just like we do everything else.
Yeah, I do believe that in order to make a big change, we do need a big movement, a big someone bigger like the government coming in and making these laws. However, I also don't want to throw them social media at 18 and they've never practiced how to have something like that.
Great point. And
But at that point, their brain is more developed and it's a little bit different.
And I guess what I'm saying is back when we were in school, we still had access. I think, God, I can't even remember. Did we have computers?
I did.
I did. So, I mean, we still had access. Oh, my God. I'm getting, we still had computers. We still had, the pagers were out. We had, I'm not saying there are a lot of advantages to modern technology.
Absolutely.
But then I think what may be a bigger issue is there's also a lot of, and I'm just going to say this because it's a hot topic, there's also a lot of money tied to latest technology.
Right.
And if we start taking away, we start taking away money out of people's pockets. Right. And that's going to affect how legislated laws really want to help. And that's
And I will tell you, I don't know if anybody else has come to this understanding or this research. I researched for about 4 years on this topic to come up with these 6 cultural influences. And that's why I wrote the book, because I really need to get it out there.
Let's talk about your book. Let's talk. What's obviously I know what was behind it.
Right.
What's the title of it? And
This is so embarrassing. I don't have a title
yet.
my
God, okay.
My publisher.
Maybe we'll put the question mark.
Please help me. My publisher and I were literally this week talking about what it should
What's
be
going to be
titled.
the name? And sometimes it comes later. It comes at the end of the
it's a tough subject.
Sure.
I don't want to scare anybody off from buying it.
Okay.
I want it to attract all parents that are parents to kids of all ages. However, I do want it to be taken seriously. I want someone to go, ooh, like maybe I do need to read this.
So the book is going to be geared toward?
It's going to be geared towards how to parent in today's culture so that your child doesn't end up with teen depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and
probably
self-harm.
based on those 6 principles of what you researched.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Which would be great.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go a little bit into, obviously, we're not dealing with client privileged, situations here, but as a universal, you said, you grew up here.
I did.
And now you're actually helping here.
Yeah.
For, what are you seeing as a universal in our area issues? I'm not trying to pinpoint a particular client, but as a universal issue that is when people walk into your door, whether it's the parent, whether it's the child, or whether it's both, that is either the biggest struggle or something that you see to be a big issue that people are fixing. Either way.
That's a very good question.
I'm sorry.
I would say the parents. I think there's the parents are really hard sometimes.
Accepting?
Okay. There's a lot of denial or misunderstanding or.
They don't want to take blame. They feel like it's coming on them. Is that it?
I don't. I just think that they don't want to take ownership of their part in the relationship. There's a lot of understanding with what respect means, mutual respect between child and parent. And I know that that gets really confusing sometimes. And you know, when teenagers mess up and they do things that they're not supposed to and they get in trouble, parents, it's really easy for parents to say, okay, you just need to fix this, instead of looking at the whole
Trying
picture
to turn
and the
the cheek,
relationship.
walk away, don't want to deal with it.
And there are some really
Yeah.
great parents that are interactive and involved, but
Sure.
there are a lot that...
Well, the reason we
Yeah.
bring this up is because we have an epidemic.
Yes.
So we have to figure out where
Yes.
does it start.
Right.
And if a parent has a child,
Yes.
there's a connection
Right.
between what is happening with your child and
Right.
has some relationship to do with you.
Right, so also like lack of connection between peers, but also parent-child, right?
Connection
Like you
is
go out
important.
to dinner and everyone's on their phone.
Right.
The kids are playing games and the parents are checking emails or
Right.
sports stuff and whatever, and they're just not spending time together.
Well, yeah, because I remember years when they first came out with those little TVs in the cars, and, I would even hear parents say, you know, you hear them, oh, this is my babysitter, you know,
Right.
we can just turn this on, they'll stop
Right.
crying. And so in the beginning, no one knew
Exactly.
what was leading up to it.
And so of course we cannot blame any parents. They didn't know, and when you go out to eat and your baby starts to fuss and you've got this magical thing
Right.
that puts on Mickey Mouse, it's
And it shuts them
wonderful.
down, and then the restaurant is
you're
quiet
not,
again, no one's
you're not
serenading.
embarrassed.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
have to worry. You get to enjoy your meal.
But really, what you were doing
yeah,
is
it's-
you were band-aiding it,
You were
and you
band-aiding
weren't, and so now the band-aids are like popping all off everywhere.
right.
So, so I guess my next question then is, are we seeing it that as you're talking to these parents and they're hearing this, is it more of we need to? This is something new that I've just popped in my head.
Okay.
It may not be
Yeah.
new, but new to me. Maybe there needs to be a lot more counseling done direct with parents about, you know, how to parent a child
Yeah.
when they're, you know, either during conception,
Right.
after, or rather after, not during
Right.
it, not during it,
Right.
but after conception. I'm sorry, after conception, and then as you're going along.
And that's really what I started writing this on. You
Okay.
know, my oldest was 4 when I started this journey,
Yeah.
and I really wanted to figure out how to parent my little kids
Yeah.
so that we had a strong relationship going into the teenage years.
Sure.
So that's really what my focus was on, and then with the book, and then it turned into, okay, this whole problem, you know,
Yeah.
I want to help everyone, and I just really think that parents need to wake up and understand that this really is that common,
Okay.
and that it's not just a mental illness situation,
Bingo.
it's a cultural situation.
There you go. I think you just brought out a huge point. We'll take a quick commercial, but that is a huge point.
Yeah.
It is cultural. It's not so
Right.
tie everything to mental. Tie it to let's just talk. Let's
Right.
ask the questions like Kim said and get back to the basics.
Absolutely.
We'll take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Do you feel that your energy costs are unnaturally high? Do you want to fortify your building and keep it strong and secure for years to come? Then NRG Spray Foam Insulation is the answer you're looking for. Our unique foam insulation is made to help our customers save in energy, prevent gas, air, and moisture infiltration, as well as helping with general stability in your building structure. Call us at 713-936-3021 or visit us online at nrgfoam.com for more information. NRG Spray Foam. Building green, living green.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
Vetta's Medical Spa and Wellness Center is a premier wellness center specializing in effective medical interventions to help you look and feel younger. Dr. Nangrani is dedicated to providing unmatched personalized care using a holistic approach that includes sophisticated cosmetic, aesthetic, and anti-aging treatments in a warm and relaxing atmosphere. Combining a medical spa with a wellness center, we ensure the best medical treatments are complemented by specialized holistic healing techniques. Vetta's treatments will enhance your natural beauty and never leave you with that done look. Visit us at vettasmedspa.com or call us at 281-298-5476.
What's up, guys? This is 91, and you're tuned in to KNLY 91.1 FM, The Boss. here in the Woodlands, Texas. Make sure you tune in every day, Monday through Friday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. for the Daily Buzz with me, myself, 91, my host, Lucas Martin, and Summer Rose. And if you can't tune in on FM radio, make sure you download the TuneIn app to check us out or go live with us on Facebook, like our page, KNLY 91.1 The Boss.
Do you want to make your college experience different? Do you want to make your college experience different? Become an intern with 91.1 The Boss. We are interviewing interns today.
Today with Cachet, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 10 to 10:30. 91.1 The Boss. Watch me live, Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget, 91.1 The Boss. Today with Cachet.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
For any maintenance needs on your commercial or personal vehicle, EVG Loan Store Service specializes on European, Asian, and domestic vehicles. We can assist you with wheel alignments, tire balance, AC services, computer and electric diagnostic, and more. We're located at corner of 1230 Aldine Mail Route and Reeston Road in Houston 77039. Our phone number is 936-344-1672, or you can find us on our webpage www.evglss.com. EVG Loan Star. If it's got wheels, we can fix it.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Welcome back to Today with Cachet. It is Friday. We're here in the Woodlands, Texas, and our hot topic this month is focused on suicide awareness and prevention. And in the studio this morning, I have Tessa Stuckey, who's a licensed clinical professional, here to help us, as she's been doing, dig deeper into the mindset and how we can work as a society and as parents and individuals and to make a difference and to dig deep. So, you know, we're covering it all. Again, we've already talked about she's coming back. We're going to do the hour show. Yes, it's going to an hour show, and Today with Cachet, we're getting there. There was one particular point I wanted to cover first.
Okay.
We were talking before commercial. You said it's not just a mental health issue.
Right.
It is a cultural issue.
Right. So let me really quick say mental illness.
Mental illness.
So there's a difference
Yeah,
between mental illness and mental health, and I think a lot of people hear mental and they think it's the same thing.
Okay.
We all have mental health, and we all need to prioritize our mental health, right? And sometimes going to therapy is what you need to prioritize your mental health. Getting good sleep, eating well, all of that, physical activity. That's your mental health. Your relationships, that sort of thing. Mental illness is something that would fall into depression, anxiety, trauma.
Sickness.
That's something that you have to
sickness.
deal with, or a chemical imbalance within the brain. And so suicide has always been under the category of mental illness. You have to have extreme depression, anxiety, horrible PTSD or trauma to even think about suicide. But what I'm seeing today is that they don't have to have any of that. It's more of a cultural impact that's happening, and that's what scared me so much to try to figure this out, because my kids are growing up in this culture.
And if it's a cultural thing, then so then my next question would be, if it's a cultural thing, what type of culture is the one that is being more, I guess, a factor to it or a trigger, and how do we change that culture? Or remove ourselves from that.
I think more and more people need to become aware. I think that parents need to understand that their kids can fall victim of this, because this is the culture that they're growing up in.
And what type of culture? Let's kind of be specific. Is it, and when you say culture, people out there listening, there's two types of culture, or there's more than two. But I mean, is it a society in the fact in what you're living in culture? Is it your culture that is your ethnical, cultural?
No, I think it's the society, the lifestyle that is common. You know, the fast-paced, go, immediate gratification.
Back to the point,
isolation, because, you know, the loneliness and not connecting
Like in our
properly.
area, it's pretty prevalent, right?
Right. Yeah,
and it's considered
very
almost an
prevalent
epidemic
here,
right?
yeah.
And so culturally, if we tie that, it's back to the instant gratification, what you're saying, and
the way we're living our life on a day-to-day basis is contributing to our kids turning into hormonal teenagers that can't handle it.
Right.
Rightfully so.
Okay.
And so I think I mentioned 4 of the
What were the
cultural
other
influences.
two? Yeah.
The next one is obviously social media. I had to add that in there. I break social media into 4 different little categories, but really social media has really taken on a storm and has created a lot of problems. And so a lot of parents are handing their 12-year-old a smartphone and letting them get all the social media. And I don't know if you remember what it's like to be 12, but I remember a lot of insecurities and comparing and that sort of thing. And I cannot imagine adding social media
on top of
that. And also not getting the chance to turn your social life off. You know, it's on 24/7. And then the last cultural influence is pressure. And now we live in a very affluent community. So the pressure here is pretty high. You know, a lot of working parents who are doing really well, and there's so much academic pressure, so much athletic pressure in this area, and it's actually nationwide. Once I finished my research, it was pretty crazy how throughout the country kids are feeling this pressure to be perfect. And that goes back to the social media and comparing and that sort of thing.
So it's kind of like a building block. If I'm listening to you,
they're all connected.
It's like, hey, years ago it started off as technology. Modern technology was great because it was kind of like distractions. It was the ability to escape. It was the ability to put the Band-Aid, and then parents didn't realize, or our society didn't realize that it was going to create a bigger problem. And now that it has done that, people are not, so to speak, theoretically in every, you know, and as a society are wanting to necessarily go to the problem and say, let me address it now. It's like, okay, I just want to kind of turn away. So we've got to now address it as a cultural, not just as a mental illness issue.
It's not just mental illness. All of our kids are.
Because you bring out a good point. Let's go with, and I read some studies. I didn't do any. I'm going to be clear. But I read some studies that said in our community, between an affluent community and a what's the right way to say this? An area that wasn't as affluent, less
lower
affluent,
socioeconomic,
lower social. The children are not as suicidal, and so if we take our childhood, you know, and I could even dig in mine a little bit deeper. You know, you dealt with a lot more. You didn't get that instant stuff.
You didn't get all the gifts and everything given to you and handed to you.
I mean, you waited when you waited, right?
And I really do believe that that's because from childhood they were building coping skills and understanding that they have to wait and they have to struggle through things. And we're just not teaching our kids that anymore as much, and it needs to be taken seriously.
Well, we're going to have to start back, even so. It sounds like, and it's like with anything in life, and I'll wrap up here, but you know, whether you were the factor, whether it was your fault, whether that doesn't matter.
It doesn't. No.
What we have to do is fix it.
I'm guilty of giving my kids the phone to keep them distracted.
I'm guilty of being on my phone when I shouldn't, and doing all that. But it's not about fault.
No.
It's not about blame. It's not about guilt. It's about fixing a society, fixing our culture, and getting our kids and saving lives.
Right. I mean, you know, back in the day, we had to train our kids to fight predators and survive.
And we didn't want to have to, but you did it.
But you did, and it was their survival mode. And today, we don't have to teach them about outside predators, but now we're dealing with internal predators that our kids are not knowing how to fight, and it's a scary world.
Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Oh my God, we could go on and on. So you're coming back.
Yes,
we've already said she's going to come back. Everyone, happy Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.